To the ones who've been holding it all, the silence, the emotions, the logistics, this space is for you. When I planned this journey through Europe, I imagined beautiful cities, historic buildings, art, museums. I thought I was traveling to see history. I never imagined history would quietly introduce me to myself. There are seasons in life when our worlds become very small, not because we choose them to, but because life chooses them for us. Sometimes that season looks like grief. Sometimes it's caring for everyone else while quietly forgetting yourself. Sometimes it's surviving an illness. Sometimes it's simply waking up each day and doing what needs to be done. And for a long time, my world measured itself in responsibilities, in appointments, in waiting, in simply getting through another day. And when life asks so much of you, you stop noticing beauty. Not because beauty disappears, but because survival doesn't leave much room for wonder. So walking through Europe felt like something much deeper than a holiday. It felt like remembering a part of myself I hadn't seen in a very long time. Every city carried its own rhythm. London, Lisbon, Porto, Venice, Rome, Paris. Each one seemed to whisper, people have lived before you. People have loved, lost, built lives, buried dreams, started again. And as I walked streets that had existed for centuries, I found myself slowing down, running my hand across stone walls, looking up instead of down, listening to church bells, watching the light move across buildings older than my entire country. For the first time in a long time, I wasn't rushing towards the next thing. I was simply present. Perhaps that's why this journey touched me so deeply. I've loved history for as long as I can remember. And as a child, I was fascinated by stories. The people who came before us. The lives hidden behind old buildings. The moments that shaped nations. Long before I ever boarded a plane to Europe, I'd already traveled there in my imagination. I had studied these places, read about them, dreamt about them, and now I was walking through them, not as a student, not through the pages of a book, but with my own feet. There was one place that stayed with me more than any other. It was the Hall of Mirrors at Versailles. Imagine standing inside one of the most magnificent rooms in the world. Gold stretching endlessly across the walls. crystal chandeliers catching the morning light, mirrors reflecting centuries of history, kings, queens, diplomats, artists, revolutions, wars. History had passed through this room. And then there was me, a woman born in a tiny rural clinic in Zimbabwe, a clinic without electricity, without running water. The odds of that little girl ever standing in Versailles were almost unimaginable. And yet there I was. I stood quietly, trying to take it all in, not just the beauty of the room, but the impossibility of my own journey. Standing in the hall of mirrors, I couldn't stop thinking about reflections. Not the reflections staring back at me, the reflections of every woman I'd ever been. The little girl who lost her father far too soon. The young woman learning to survive more than she ever expected. The mother, the woman who carried responsibilities that weren't always hers to carry. The woman whose body now bears 5 scars, some from bringing life into the world, some from losing it, and some from learning how precious life really is. I realized something in that room. People often think scars are evidence of what we've lost. Standing there, I saw something different. They were evidence of everywhere I had been, everything I'd endured, everything that had carried me to this moment. We often think history belongs to extraordinary people. People like kings, queens, explorers, leaders. But perhaps history is simply the collection of ordinary people who kept going, who buried those they loved, who survived illness, who raised children, who rebuilt after heartbreak, who found reasons to hope again. Perhaps that's why these ancient places moved me so deeply. They reminded me that every ordinary life contains extraordinary courage. Not world history, but our own history. As I traveled, I realized something else. My life could no longer be reduced to its hardest chapters. Not to loss, not to disappointment, not even to cancer. Those things shaped me, but they did not define me. Just as Paris isn't only the Eiffel Tower, or Versailles only the Hall of Mirrors, our lives cannot be reduced to one chapter. There's always another page waiting to be written. Before this journey, I often looked at life through the lens of survival. Could I carry one more thing? Could I keep going? they hold everyone else together. But somewhere between the ancient streets, the museums, the cafes, and the quiet moments of simply wandering, something shifted. I stopped asking, how do I survive? And I began asking, how do I want to live? Perhaps that's the quiet gift of walking through history. It reminds us that life is not measured by the burdens we carried, but by the moments we finally allowed ourselves to truly notice. As I left the Hall of Mirrors, I turned back one last time, not because I wanted another photograph, but because I wanted to remember how it felt. Before I walked into that room, I thought I'd come to see history. As I walked out, I realized history had quietly introduced me to myself. Not the woman I had been surviving as, but the woman I had been becoming all along. History isn't only written in books. Sometimes it's written in the bodies that carried us, in the choices we made, the losses we survived, the hope we refused to let go of. Every scar, every step, every quiet beginning becomes part of the story. Thank you for walking beside me today. Until next time, be gentle with yourself.